Hello and welcome to Delight and Fright. I am Kat, your hostess with the mostest, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Paula Cappa. Hello, Paula. She is an author of horror, fantasy, gothic thriller, dark romance, award winning for all of her amazing work. How are you today, Paula?
Hello, Kat. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Did your camera disappear on us again?
Yeah, I have a
No,
black screen. Oh dear. Do I need to? Oh, wait a minute. Let me try. Does that help? No.
no.
Uh, oh no. Let me
No.
see. Front camera. You know what? Camera access not granted. It says. Oh, um, front camera, back camera, front ultra wide camera. Does that make any sense?
No.
Okay.
Not sure. We just had you too.
I
We just
know.
had her, guys.
What
And she
happened?
got abducted into the void.
Oh, gee.
Not again. Why does this keep happening?
Yeah.
Oh, our last guest disappeared too into the void. It's a thing here at
Oh,
the Light and
yeah. Oh,
Bright.
wow. I have three buttons here. Let me see what that does. Nothing. Oh, that just makes you bigger.
Just makes me
Okay.
bigger.
That's, yeah. But I've got the camera turned off for some reason. I don't know how to turn it on.
And that's on your iPad, right?
I'm on my iPad. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe try waking it up. Maybe if the screen goes dark, it wants to shut off on us.
No, no, none of
No.
that. No, it's fine. Um, Menu extra presentations. I don't know. It says camera access not granted.
Hmm.
Is that something from your end?
No,
No.
that's not me. Yeah,
Okay.
because
So,
I had you earlier. So iPads it took you into the void.
yeah. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry. Oh, no.
No worries, Paula. So we'll talk and
Okay.
here
Okay.
we'll just I'll just make my face big. I'll have big face. Big
Okay.
face.
Okay.
Hello guys, welcome to episode 132. 123. My bad. I like to No, it's 132. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been at this a while, guys. So tell me, Paula, about your newest novel is Wolf Magic, correct? Secret Mysteries of Drak- Drakinsky. Did I say
Dra-
that right?
no, it's
Drak.
Dragon Sky.
Drakins.
Dragon Sky. Think
I
of a
gotta break it up.
dragon.
I gotta break it
Dragon.
up.
Dragon Sky. Right. Right.
Nice, nice.
Um, it's this is my sixth novel that I've written, and it's with Crystal Lake Publishing. Um, it's uh, it's dark fantasy. It's gothic thriller, gothic mystery. Um, It takes place on the wild landscapes of Dragon Sky Windmill Estate in Bedford, New York. And Bedford is a town that's not far from where I live here in Westchester County. And it's about two lovers, Charlotte and Mark, and they are besieged by ancestral magic, shadow wolves from the other world, and witchcraft.
Ooh.
And the interesting thing about Drakensky Windmill Estate is that it's not only haunted, but it's also magical. So I've got kind of a genre blend going on here. You've got horror, you've got dark fantasy, you've got magic, you've got witchcraft, and you've got otherworld ghostly things happening. So genre blends now, I think, have been trending. Everyone seems to be very excited about this. So I'm part of that.
Love it, love it. So you started out is was the novella your first book, The Sky Wolf, or no?
Skywolf was a fairy tale. It was not my first. Um, and that's where I discovered the white magical wolf that is in the fairy tale, which is a kind of a short story. Um, and it's also in my novel Drakensky, which is the first part of the wolf magic story. So I discovered Sky Wolf in the fairy tale, which is historical, about a 45-minute read. It's free on Amazon, actually. And then Dragon Sky, the Sky Wolf does make an appearance. And then in Wolf Magic, Sky Wolf has a really dominant role. So the White Wolf is really a star wolf. So there's magic going on whenever that wolf appears in any of these stories.
What is it about the wolf that calls to you, Paula? Why do you need to let his story
I
out for us?
I have fallen in love with wolves over the past probably 5 or 6 years. There's a town not far from here, and they have a wolf conservatory there, and you can tour around the grounds. The wolves are behind a fence, but they're free to roam wherever they want. They're not really in any kind of a cage, and they have about, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 wolves there. And there was this beautiful one white wolf that I just fell in love with. And I went up really close to the gate and wanted to, reach out. I didn't touch her because you're not allowed to, but she looked right at me. And you know when an animal looks at you and really hones in on you, it's kind of a magical moment. And I fell in love with her right on the spot there. And the story just started to develop about who she is and where she came from and what kind of power wolves have. Besides being, these wild animals and fierce, she had this grace and she had this beauty. And there was just something so special about her. And my imagination just really took off with that. There's a soul in these wolves, and when you go from wolf to wolf and you see them, they look at you and they relate to you. So it's a wild animal, but you connect. And that's what I wanted to bring into the story of Dragon Sky and Wolf Magic, that connection to the wolves.
I love that. And then you have multiple books that you've written for Crispin Books. You have The Dazzling Darkness, Night Sea Journey, and Greylock.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
My first story was The Dazzling Darkness, and it's a ghost story. It takes place in Concord, Massachusetts. It's about a little boy who gets lost. He goes missing, and there's a detective, and there's this family that, they're searching for this little boy, and they find that he is lost in this cemetery. It's called Old Willow Cemetery, and it's in Concord. And there are dazzling faces in this story. And the detective, his name is Mike Balducci, he ends up really exploring after death life. And what he finds there, I can't reveal what he finds there, but there are dazzling ghosts here in the story. And it's kind of a family story. So it was my first experience with really writing a serious ghost story. And I was really happy with it because it won a Gothic award from a book club, which was really nice.
Yeah, the
And then,
Book Fest Book Awards.
yeah, yeah, book,
Nice.
yes. So I was really pleased with that. Nightsea Journey is my second novel from Crispin Books. That's Angels and Demons. And the main character there is a priest who he's leaving the priesthood. He is exiled on this island and he meets this woman who has a dream of a firehawk, this evil firehawk. And he has a romance with her because he's really done with his vow of celibacy. And when he becomes involved with her, he begins to dream of the firehawk as well. So Angels and Demons is my first experience with really writing something that had some evil power in it. So that was kind of exciting. That book won an Eric Hoffer Award, which I was really happy about because the Eric Hoffer Awards, they have a certain prestige to them. And it's kind of like my white whale, I wanted one of my stories to win there, and Nightsea Journey got that for me. So that was a really good thing.
Nice.
And then Greylock. Greylock is a music phantom story, a little bit of Phantom of the Opera flavors in there. Um, how can I do this without giving away too much? There's a murder, and the concert pianist who he plays this beautiful music, and he finds this sonata, this old ancient sonata, and he starts playing it. And when he plays that, a music phantom appears, and this music phantom haunts him in Boston, haunts him to Russia when he goes to Russia because he wants to write a symphony from the white whales there, and haunts him all the way up to Mount Greylock in Massachusetts.
Persistent. He's
Yes, yes.
persistent with his haunting.
Yes, it is. I know. I love all that stuff. So he gets to the top of Mount Greylock and he's haunted by this music phantom there. And I spent a lot of time on Mount Greylock in Massachusetts. So it was a really fun one to do. I had a really good, and I had to learn about music. I don't know anything about music. I don't play an instrument. I don't sing, none of that stuff. So I really had to do a lot of research on how to play the piano and how to write a symphony because this is what the character was doing. So that was fun. And I also have a lot of short stories. Most of my short stories are free on Amazon now because I really no one really wants to spend 99 cents to buy a short story anymore. They used to, but
Hmm.
now it's just easier to have them just be free and they're just short enough. So that's fun. Amazon allows me to do that.
Yeah, and then we have your most recent works with our beautiful wolf here, our sky wolf.
Yeah, that's the
So
fairy
pretty.
tale. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Wind Witch.
The Wind Witch of Dragon Sky. Now that has to do with the Dragon Sky novel. The Wind Witch of Dragon Sky, her name is Ja Moreland, and she performs magic with the wind. Um, and that is a short story that's also free on Amazon. It introduces um, Dragon Sky Windmill Estate. It introduces the wind as a entity of power that she uses. Her sister goes missing in this story, and how she wants to find her and who has taken her and why. So that's a quickie little short story, and it's an introduction to the novel Dragon Sky, a supernatural tale of magic and romance.
So I showed your awesome Amazon page for everyone, and you can see all the amazing work. That's zero. I like that. You give them a little taste, and then they're going to be hooked because your writing style is so eloquent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you've gone through a lot of publishers, right? It seems that we've landed on Crystal Lake, and I like it. It sounds delightful.
Yeah. Mhm.
Pun intended. Um, so tell me a little bit about the process, right? Your process of choosing a publisher so we can help future authors kind of find their way and what are
Yeah.
the lessons that you learned through this as well.
Yeah. Well, my the first novel that came out was The Dazzling Darkness, and that was back in 2013. And I self-published the Kindle book, and I was in the process of finding how I was going to self-publish the print edition. And I also had Nightsea Journey that I also published as an ebook. And I thought, okay, so now I have to do the print. And they were selling pretty well as ebooks at the time. At the time it was a little bit easier. I think sales were still booming in terms of ebook sales. Kindles were still new and popular and all that. So that was a good time for me. I was on social media quite a bit at the time. Twitter was very popular then, and you could put your book on Twitter and it would sell. You can't do that today, but back then you could. Meantime, though, I was on other places like LinkedIn and some Facebook groups. On LinkedIn, which is more business, I still was putting up my stories up there so that people could buy them and know about them. This whole thing is about visibility, really, at that point. And Crispin Books found me in a conversation on LinkedIn. So he contacted me. His name is Phil Martin. He's passed away since then. And he said, I have a very small publishing company, and I know you have your own, ebook out there for your two books. He said, but I would very much like to publish the print editions for you. So, I checked him out, made sure, everything was all set. And he was a legitimate small indie publisher in Wisconsin. And we signed a contract, and he was terrific. He gave me a lot of help about book promotion and advertising and things like that. He didn't do a lot of it because he was, really small time. He didn't have a lot of funds for that. He did what he could, and he said, "This is what you need to do." So it's really nice when you have a publisher one on one. It's small enough that they can instruct you about the industry and about marketing and about book promotion, how to reach your readership. His biggest point is don't worry about the advertising. You want to find readers. Just get out there and make yourself visible and keep your author platform going. Not just your books, but other things that you read, other things that you write, other things that you love to do. Communicate yourself out there as an author. And that's key for any author, for any writer, is that readers want to know who you are. They don't want to know your personal life. They just want to know who you are and what your values are in reading and in the industry. So he really gave me my start into more of the professional industry than self-publishing and struggling through. And then I wrote Greylock, and he published Greylock for me, and that was doing very well. And then he passed away, and his company closed. It was all very sudden. So I had to go through an awful lot of things to get my copyright reversed and all that kind of stuff, which I did. And then I started working on Drakensky. And at the time, no indie publishers were open. It was during COVID time when everything was kind of shut down and people were being flooded with stuff. And the publishing industry was having a lot of trouble. So I was almost ready to give up because I had this book and I wanted to get it out and I wanted a new publisher. And actually, Joe Meinhardt was closed at the time to receiving submissions, but I contacted them anyway. And he said he would read it. So it was like kind of a shot in the dark, when you get so many closed doors and then you say, well, I'm still going to try. And I did. And when he read it, he said he loved it and he would like to publish it. So that's how I got in with Joe Meinhardt at Crystal Lake Publishing. And it's been a wonderful relationship. He's got a great publishing house there and a lot of good authors, and he's growing by leaps and bounds.
So, speaking of um, the all the no's, all the closed doors, I'm sure you've had to deal with throughout your career. What is something that helped you kind of work through that and not take things personally when it comes to that?
I think it's just a die-hard persistence. You just have to kind of believe that your story is good and there's an audience out there. Not everybody's going to love it, but there are, readers who will like this story. That's how I used to think. There's somebody out there. And, my readership, I don't sell to masses of people. My readership is still small, but every single sale is like a triumph because it's like, oh, I got a sale today. This is great. That kind of thing. You don't get, 5, 6 sales every day like some of the other authors that are with the bigger publishers get or have big advertising campaigns. I'm on social media. I keep my visibility going. I write a blog. So you have to do more than just say, here's my book. Take a look at it. Please buy it. You have to do other things. You have to write other short stories. You have to keep doing social media contacts and making friends. It's about connecting to the industry and not just selling books.
Absolutely.
So
We're
you go
constantly
wider.
bombarded. Right?
Yes.
We're constantly bombarded with so much information all the time. There's so many
Yes.
entertainment options. So you definitely got to get out there. And speaking of, have you done any conventions? Have you done any?
I'm part of the Horror Writers Convention. I'm part of Authors Guild membership there. Last year, not this current June, but the last year, I was at a Gothic committee, and I spoke at one of their panel discussions, which was really exciting. And it was all about Gothic literature and what's going on. And Gothic is in a revival now. And I met a lot of people when I went there, and it was great fun. From that, I had an idea that I had wanted to establish a International Gothic Reading Month. And I was asking around. I asked like Ellen Datlow and people, that are always that know everything. And they said, "Oh my God, that would be great, but you know what kind of a project that is?" And I said, "Well, not really. I've never put anything together like that. Who could I get to help me?" And I kind of got a lot of dead ends, and no one really wanted to help me out with it. They were just saying, "It's a big project. Good luck. I hope you do it."
Oh,
So I was on social media, and I'm just kind of asking around, taking a long time to just put the word out there. Does anybody have any interest in having an International Gothic Reading Month? And there was a lot of interest, but no one wanted to participate and help me put it together. But I did find a group, the Society for American Gothic. They're in Michigan. And I connected with their president on a Facebook page. And I said, "Gee, I'm thinking about doing something like this. Do you know of anybody that would help me?" And he came back and he said, "Yeah, we'd love to sponsor it." So they sponsored it for January last year. And we had a lot of interest, our first coming out there. And everyone got very excited about it. I let Ellen Datlow know, and she said, "Good luck. This is terrific." So 1 year, and now we're going to be doing it for the second year. So it's just an encouragement for readers to read Gothic stories, whether they're, the classics, whether they're new, whatever it is. It's just Gothic literature. Let's read more of it. So that's what the promotion is. And
I
it's
love it.
I'm looking forward to it for this January.
Did you reach out to anyone partner or try to partner with anyone that does those monthly subscription surprise boxes? Like I've seen some on social media where it's like a book and then some bookmarks and stuff, and they send you like you subscribe, you pay so much each month depending on how many books you want, and they just mail them to you.
Oh, no, I've not done that. I've not seen too many of those. I
Yeah,
don't know too much
I've
about it.
seen a couple here and there. I'll definitely
Yeah.
send you their information whenever I see them. But yeah, I subscribed to one, and it was really nice. I just paid like a small amount, and it was an independent printed book from a publisher similar to Crystal Lake,
Hmm.
and just some bookmarks and some cool gothic dark fantasy kind of skulls and stuff and magnets and some cool fun
Oh,
stuff. It was
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
surprise that I enjoyed.
Yeah, we haven't done any really big marketing on it. It's just been kind of word of mouth. We do have a website up at the Society for the American Gothic there, and we have a web page for International Gothic Reading Month, and we have a little logo and everything now. It's kind of nice. Um, but we'd like to do a Facebook page. We haven't gotten that together yet. I'm trying to work on that for January to get that together. But yeah, and I did try to contact, these calendar people where they sponsor all these, ice cream week and ice cream month and pizza day and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully they would include International Gothic Reading Month for January in there. So we'll see this year if they're going to have it on their list. But there'll be some promotion about it for sure.
That's I think maybe we've caught on to something. Hopefully we can get a little more going for the International Gothic Reading Month.
Yes,
I love
I'll
that.
be in touch with you. Maybe we can do something in January. Yes.
Yeah. So speaking of that, tell us a little bit about your horror roots. Um,
Hmm.
did you always or interested in horror, fantasy, kind of gothic, dark stuff, or did it kind of grow as you moved along?
Well, as a kid, I did a lot of ghost story reading and mystery reading, murder mysteries, and things like that. So I was always intrigued with the mysterious elements in the world and mysterious people and ghosts. I just love ghost stories. I just can't get enough of them. So I grew up with that. But ghosts are kind of a sideline of horror. Ghosts to me are just. They're not the visceral kind of horror of the mainstream and the traditional horror. So I think of myself as on the sidelines. I'm really quiet horror. Um, and I've been um, pitching myself as a quiet horror author so that people know that when they buy my books, it's not going to be the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
This is going to be, very mysterious. This is going to be
The sneaky
the
horror. Then in
sneaky
the middle of the
horror. Yeah.
night, you're trying to go to the
It
bathroom
sneaks,
and
it
you're like,
sneaks, yeah. It sneaks
You
up
look at
on
the
you.
mirror and you're like,
Yes, yes, yes. I love to read those kind of stories because you can take your time with them and you really get into the characters. It's very character motivated, these quiet horror is. In fact, I just did a quiet horror piece on my blog. So, and it got quite a number of responses. It's gaining strength again with all these subgenres and blending of genres. Horror, quiet horror, is becoming popular again. It was popular with Charlie Grant in the 1980s and 90s and things like that. But and now I think there are more quiet horror readers than there were, so that's a good thing. But I got involved with that mostly because when I write, I use a lot of storyboards. You can't see me today, but I'm in my studio with my storyboards are all around me, and they're images of the scenes, of the characters, of any of the action that's important. I've got, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 wolves hanging around my writing area, that kind of thing. I did a video actually on my storyboards. It's on my Instagram page. So storyboarding is a really important part of finding the story for me. That's how I'll see a picture and I'll say, that's my character. I'll see a scene of something and I'll say, oh, this is where a certain story takes place here. So I'm always connecting to the visual because my stories are very visual. So I surround my reading space, my writing space, with all the pictures of all of my characters while I'm writing it. So that makes it fun because then I get up in the morning
yourself,
and I
immerse
say good morning.
yourself in that world. What
Yes.
type of music do you listen to, if anything, Paula, when you write?
I'm sorry.
What type of music do you listen to, if any music, when
Oh,
you write, or you just like?
classical pieces a lot. For the fantasy, for the dark fantasy, I was listening to a lot of fantasy music.
Nice.
So that inspires me and it's very soothing. Um, when I was writing The Dazzling Darkness, because it took place in a cemetery, I was listening to very spooky music.
Mhm.
That kind of thing, that something's going to come up from behind you and haunt you, kind of thing. So, yes. And for Night Sea Journey, which takes place on an island, so I had a lot of things happening with the sea. So I was listening to ocean waves while I was writing that. Yeah, music plays a very important part for inspiration and for just letting yourself relax into your instincts. That's why I like it.
I love it. So, what do you have next for us, Paula? What are you working on or hope to work on for the future?
Well, I was thinking about doing, a third book in the series, but I haven't. I mean, I've got notes. Yeah, this is how slowly things happen for me. It takes me years to write a novel. So I don't really have a third book, but I do have some ideas. So I might have one down the line. It was exhausting writing these 2 books, so I'm kind of taking a break. I'm not writing any fiction right now, but I am working on just kind of exploring. I tend to do a lot of research before I even get a story idea. And right now, I'm working on ideas about stone ghosts. And I have it on my blog. In fact, you have it on the screen right now. That's a cemetery headstone, and I tend to walk in cemeteries because I love ghosts. So I was walking through the cemetery in this place near me, and I came across that headstone with that face on it. You can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and it really haunted me. And I'd be walking, and I felt like this stone ghost was following me around
Mhm.
the cemetery. So I don't have a story yet, but I am researching stone ghosts. And it's on my blog this week about what is a stone ghost and what is the metaphysical part of it and what is the history of it. And a lot of it is ancient folklore, mythology. Rocks have a certain presence. And that's what I feel like this headstone in this cemetery has, a certain presence. And it's speaking to me. It's saying something. I don't know what it's saying yet. So I have to go back and sit there and
Nice.
listen to
Yeah,
what
that
this
is very
stone
creepy.
goes.
Yeah, it's like it's looking into your soul. I'm
It
just like,
is. It is. I think it's a female. I don't know what it is. Something feminine about it. But yeah, yeah. So
Ooh,
that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in my research stage. Either there's a short story or there's a novel about stone ghosts coming up, but it's early on.
awesome. And it's been such a pleasure talking with you, Paula. Is there anything else you wanted to share with our guests before we start to wrap up? And thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you, Kat. This is delightful. I had a really good time. I'm sorry people couldn't see me. I was hoping they could at least see my literary studio, but I have a lot of things on my blog at paulacappa.wordpress.com, which you have up right now. And there's a lot of videos on my Instagram. So please follow me on Instagram and sign up for my blog. I do a lot of free fiction, free short stories, and there's always something spooky and mysterious on my blog.
Ooh, you hear that, guys? Don't forget to check out Paula's work, and get a little taste and then come back for more. And thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thank you, Kat. I appreciate it. Bye bye for now.
Oh, wait, I'm just going to wrap us up, Paula.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
for the next 2 weeks at Delight and Fright, so this next week, we're going to have a little hiatus. And then in 2 weeks' time, September 8th, Tuesday, I will see you all then again at 7 p.m., where I talk with Stephen James Griffiths about his British horror comedy, Highly Recommended. I hear it's highly recommended. I mean, it's just there. Sorry, low hanging fruit, guys. I know. Then the 15th at 7, I will be speaking with film creator Roger Hill concerning his film Stalker Jane. And then the 22nd, not sure the time on that one. I'll be talking with the creators of the indie horror feature Dark Hollows. So stay tuned, guys, for more Delight and Fright fun. And Paula, I know you can't do it, but I like to say goodbye a very special way here at Delight and Fright. I'm a big Cthulhu fan.
Mm.
The Elder God, I love that he keeps sleeping, and I hope he sleeps. That's my favorite pastime. So I do a little tentacles underneath, and that's our little way of saying goodbye.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Did a
Thank you,
great job.
Paula.
I love all the stuff you showed me. Thank you again, Kat. Take
You're
care.
welcome,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Have a delightful evening.
Yep, you too.
Hello, boils and ghouls. It's your old pal.